Any opening statements from either party? Mr. Ojak.
No opening statement.
Ms. Dehart, is there anything you'd like to say for an opening?
Yes, that paper.
I am asking that you, this is an appeal on a case. I just want to make sure you have a photo with you.
Ma'am, that's not the appropriate way to enter evidence.
What are you even talking about, Judge? Are you seriously saying that a blurry photo taken on the side of the road, uploaded to a computer, printed on an inkjet printer, and then shown through a 720p Courtroom webcam might not qualify as reliable evidence?
I'm sorry.
So
okay.
You did enter it.
Okay. You should have a copy of it is what I'm saying. I'm sorry. So what I'm trying
I don't have any, ma'am, I don't have anything.
Oh.
Okay.
At the time of the appeal.
Okay. At the time that I made the appeal, I made this photo, and I have others available, and they received it at the court, and they said that it would be with the paperwork. So I can either show it to you now, but what I'm trying to let you know is that I'm asking for an appeal on the magistrate's ruling.
The appeal.
I'm appealing. Right. So I would like you to, I don't know the right word.
I think what you really meant to say was, Judge, I need more time to hire a lawyer.
Ms. Dehart, do you have any questions for the officer?
Yes. My question for the officer is that I'm trying to do this correctly. So if I do anything that's wrong, I appreciate when you correct me. So my question for the officer is that I changed my lanes with my, well, that's not for the officer, but I always use my turn indicators when I change my lanes. I guess I'm a little confused about the fact that that is not at all that was.
Ms. Dehart, can you ask questions? The opportunity to testify. It's your opportunity to ask the officer questions about what he had just testified to.
Okay, that this testimony that he is saying now is not what was testified in the previous magistrate court. He's changed his testimony from then.
It's not your turn to testify. It's your turn to ask him questions, not me.
Yeah, I'm asking. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm asking him why he's changed his testimony. All of this information is not part of what was at the magistrate. So why did he change this? I do want to know, did he go back and check the lane usage, which is what I was told, that it was improper lane usage because the court magistrate said that the lane was properly.
Hold on, Karen, you should have stopped after your first question. Why did you change your testimony between the informal hearing and the formal hearing? That was a fair question. The problem is you never gave the officer a chance to answer. Now let's see whether Karen can turn her statement into an actual question and stay quiet long enough to hear the response.
Okay, so why did he change his testimony and say that it's not for improper lane use when that's what we did in the previous magistrate? Why is this testimony different than what we talked about in the previous? I was told specifically by the magistrate.
Ma'am, one question at one question at a time. Let him answer.
Okay.
Okay, my testimony in this case is a little more detailed than it would have been in the informal hearing. And the reason for that is, and I actually took measurements on Google Earth and the washtenaw.org mapping system. That's how I had the exact measurements of the signage, where the road markings were, etc. As far as what you were stopped for, you were stopped for, it could be improper lane use. It could be the fail to yield for merging over. There were a number of violations that would have been appropriate. And I ended up issuing the impeding because that's a 0-point violation.
Wow, that officer is such a terrible person. He could have written her several different tickets, but instead, he chose the one with the smallest penalty and the least serious consequences.
But I asked you, why did you change your testimony? Because the, what's it called, an informal hearing. So you didn't really answer my question. My question is, why did it change from the lane usage, which the magistrate previously made it very, very clear that this was specifically regarding using the right lane to go through, and that the right lane, she repeatedly said that the right lane is a right turn only lane, clearly marked, which it is not, and I have proven that.
Karen, you're giving testimony again. You need to ask a question, something that ends with a question mark and gives the other person a chance to answer. For example, Father's Day is coming up. What are you getting your dad this year? If you're looking for an idea, I recommend an extra wallet. I've been using mine for several months, and I don't see myself going back to a regular wallet. It has a slim design, strong build quality, RFID protection, and worldwide tracking through a smartphone app. But the feature I use most is reverse find. If I have my wallet but can't find my phone, I can press the tracking button on the wallet and my phone starts making a sound. That feature has saved me more times than I can count. This year, I'm getting my dad an Onyx Parliament wallet. My brother, who recently retired after 20 years in the U.S. Navy, will get a digital Navy aluminum wallet. And my son will get a trackable laptop bag, so technically, he can give it to his father. I genuinely enjoy using my extra wallet, and I wouldn't have accepted another sponsorship if I didn't think you would like it too. Use the link in the pinned comment or description to get 20% off your Father's Day gifts. Now, Karen, you've had plenty of time. Have you figured out how to ask a question yet?
Is the officer aware that at the intersection of Michigan and Riverview, the lane signage that's posted clearly indicates that there is a left turn lane, there is a straight through lane, and then there is a straight through and right turn lane. Is the officer aware of that?
There are, as you're coming eastbound, I'm assuming you're talking about the eastbound lanes. As you're coming eastbound, there is a left turn lane that goes north onto Austin Road. And then there are two other lanes, the inside lane and the curve lane. And both of those are allowed to go straight through at that point.
Right. And that's what I did. And that's what you testified to. And I clearly, why are you changing your testimony? Are you just trying to keep my money? That just doesn't make sense to me.
Oh, come on, Karen. You were almost there. You asked a question, received an answer, and then immediately went back to arguing.
Why
I'm
are
going
you
to
doing
object,
that?
Your Honor. That's not appropriate.
Sustained.
I agree with you. It's not appropriate, but I'm very sorry, Your Honor. This is clearly not appropriate either. It's a very, okay. And then I would like to say, I do have a witness.
Ms.
Can I have a
Ms.
witness?
Dehart, if you have any further questions for for Officer Belknap,
No.
we have any further questions for him?
All right. Is Officer Belknap aware that I had someone else in the car?
Yes, you had your husband, and he made it very clear that he worked for a police department. And I felt that he was actually trying to get you some courtesy for that. And in fact, that's perhaps why I issued the impeding traffic and not the traffic violation with the points on it.
Can I talk?
Karen, tell Kevin to stay quiet. He should have advised you not to challenge this ticket because you were already being offered the best deal you were likely to get.
And he was making himself aware because of a courtesy to other police officers. And he made it very clear.
Ma'am, you cannot testify right now. And everything you're saying, I am not taking into evidence. You have
Okay, I'm very sorry, Your Honor.
Ma'am, it's my turn to speak.
Okay.
Opportunity to cross-examine the officer. If you have any questions for him, you may ask him questions, but your questions are not evidence. So you do not go off on all these other things that the magistrate was talking about, because I'm not taking note of any of that. Those are not evidence, those are just questions. What the officer is saying is the evidence that I'm going to take into account. So if you have any further questions that you would like to ask the officer, please do so.
Thank you. Then another question that I have is, that the officer was not the only one in attendance? And could he please tell me, there was his supervisor, or whatever the ranking is, was also there. And
What is the question, ma'am? You're testifying again. Can
Like,
you please ask
what-
the officer a question?
okay, so what was the other officer there for, other than him? Yeah. And
That was-
was he, oh, I'm sorry. I'm very sorry, because I'm saying sorry too much, and I'm not used to court proceedings. So I apologize for all of that. So is there something we can, I maybe would like to revisit this again, because the courts did not receive, I mean, I have a copy that said they received it, and none of it's with the file. And I just feel really,
Ma'am, if you
Like
have
Shanghai,
evidence that you would
but-
like to use, then you can certainly try to admit that evidence through a witness. You can't just hand me documents.
right, you mean like the court? I mean, as a witness, submit documents through a witness, which would be
Through
the
their
court.
testimony.
Okay, well, so I can have a witness?
Yes. Karen, you can bring Kevin into the discussion now.
I'd like to call my husband, Kevin Dehart.
Okay, does he have another device or something he can?
I'm right,
He's right next to me. Is that what you want?
I'm right here.
Okay.
And please tell me if my window.
Can you
is
raise
too
your
black.
right hand, sir? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Lower your hand, state and spell your name for the record, please.
Kevin Dehart, Dehart. The first name is Kevin.
Go ahead, Ms. Dehart.
Okay, first of all,
No,
No,
sir, you
Oh,
can't
what?
just start talking. Ms. Dehart can ask you questions.
oh,
You're
I'm sorry.
the other witness. You can't just talk.
I'm sorry, I thought you said Mr. Dehart, not Mrs. Dehart. Were you in the car with me in November 10th, 2021,
Yes, I was.
as I was driving? In your professional opinion, with over 33
I'm
years?
going to object to the comment about professional
police.
opinion, Your Honor. And we'll stipulate to the fact that he was present in the car. The officer already testified to that.
Sustained.
Yeah. Okay, and did I do any illegal driving during that time?
No, you did not.
Why though? Because Kevin said it, so it must be correct. And I love how she keeps mentioning her husband's 33 years of professional experience without providing any details that prove his experience is relevant to this case.
And at none, well, there would be none, so that would cover absolutely everything that was handled on that day, including the line markings that the, do you believe that the officer's statement about where all the line markings are on the road and where the dotted lines happen in the road and where the lane ends and the usage, does that include that all of that was done legally?
Yes, it was.
And do you believe that the officer has changed his story from the hearing that we were in?
I'm going to object again,
Oh,
Your
wait,
Honor.
that was.
We're
that was
talking
what I
about
was talking
testimony
about.
and
I'm sorry. I just remembered
Sustained. Ms.
that.
Dehart, please
Yes.
move on from the informal hearing.
Thank you. I'm sorry, I forgot about that. So do you believe that the officer's testimony today is not accurate and not true to what he told us when we were pulled over?
Objection again, Your Honor. She's going back to the same thing that you just told her not to do.
You're gonna get a lawyer.
Yeah, I think I need some representation.
This is,
I don't know how to handle it from now, Your Honor, because
Karen, I'm not sure how to explain this, but you're a little late to ask for legal representation. You probably should have used better judgment and told Kevin that taking this case to court was a bad idea.
documentation was delivered to the court.
Ms.
they accepted
Dehart,
it on
about
behalf.
Ms. Dehart, do you have any questions about the November 20th?
November,
Mr. Dehart,
on November 10th?
I'm sorry,
Okay,
November
please,
10th.
please. Yeah,
Do you have any further questions for Mr. Dehart about
no,
November?
I'm gonna go ahead and go along with you, and I'm gonna say that there is nothing else at this time that, I'm just
gotta
all
give your
shooken,
side
I'm
a
totally shooken up, okay? Totally shooken up because okay, I'll stop there to try to be more appropriate to you. I'm sorry.
At first, you might feel a little sorry for Karen, but then you remember that she's using up the court's time, taking up the officer's time, and fighting a ticket even though she was already offered the best possible outcome. So no, I don't have much sympathy for her. She made the decision to challenge the case, and now she has to deal with the result, with Kevin right beside her.
Do you have any closing statements, Ms. Dehart?
Your Honor, I'm very sorry that we have to take up your time on this because I think that you have not been told the truth in this case. So my closing statement would include that I wished the court proceedings worked and you had the paperwork in front of you that you need, and that the officer's story has changed in three different times. And I just don't know what else to say. I just would appreciate that you dismiss this and we can have our money returned, because as everyone knows, money is very tight these days. And living with an officer for 38 years, I appreciate and respect everything about the officers. I was the one that was insulted when he made comments about himself, because that is definitely not professional.
If you still weren't convinced that Karen was going to complain about everything, this should settle it. When the officer gave her the ticket, he told her that if she wanted to challenge it in court, she could simply say that the big, mean trooper from Saline gave it to her. He explained that he says things like that to show people that he's a real person with a sense of humor, not just someone handing out tickets. But Karen decided that this harmless comment was something worth complaining about too.
I would like to make a
I know from
final
the people. Mhm.
comment, Your Honor. I'm not going to go into about everything that happened before. There's a lot of things you just said, which I could really point out. I want to make two statements. What she provided to the court, if it had been provided to you, court staff would have been violating the rules, as they're not allowed to, she's not allowed to provide evidence ex parte to the court without providing it to the prosecutor too, and that would be done in trial. My second statement is regarding all the things she has said several times about Officer Belknap. I have decades and decades and decades of experience, and I actually know Officer Belknap very well, and I consider him one of the most professional and best officers I've ever had contact with. That's all.
Thank you, Mr. Ojak.
Can I answer to that?
No, you can't. The way that it works, the prosecutor, because they're bringing the case forward, they get the last word because they have the burden of proof.
Well, because.
No,
okay,
ma'am,
yeah.
the hearing's
I got it.
concluded.
Shut up, Karen.
After listening to the testimony from Officer Belknap, as well as the testimony from Kevin Dehart and Lisa Dehart, I wanted to address a couple of things. There was a lot of conversation about a photo that Miss Dehart she submitted to the court. It is correct. It wouldn't have been appropriate for her to not also include the prosecutor in that communication. Nonetheless, it became clear through her own testimony of what this picture would have reflected. And from the officer's testimony, it doesn't sound like this picture had any relevance to what this impeding traffic ticket is about. So had it even been submitted, I'm not sure if it would have been appropriate to bring forward in this case, because what the picture seemed, what I believe, or what it seems that Ms. Dehart was saying that the picture was portraying had nothing to do with why she was pulled over. So I'm not sure that picture had any relevance. So I believe
that's
wasn't actually submitted. Ma'am, you cannot speak.
I'm sorry, my
Ma'am, you
body.
cannot speak. As far as the testimony, we did have testimony from Officer Belknap about what happened that day, what he witnessed. He was on the lookout based on the dispatch had given him some information about to be on a lookout for a vehicle, that there were some complaints about a vehicle. So he was certainly paying attention to what was happening at that intersection. He witnessed Miss DeHart's vehicle sort of force merge herself beyond where the lane had actually narrowed, despite there being two other signs indicating that the right lane was ending. And Officer Belknap also indicated that he witnessed the vehicle behind Miss DeHart's vehicle that she cut in front of had to slow down. After Officer Belknap's testimony, there was no testimony offered from the other witnesses that testified about what exactly happened at that intersection and that merge. There was no explanation or alternative facts given to what may have happened at that intersection that perhaps Officer Belknap may have confused or may have missaw. There was just no testimony given about what happened at the intersection at all. I did find Officer Belknap's testimony believable, and I do find the prosecutor has met their burden to show that there was enough evidence, by preponderance of evidence, that Ms. DeHart had committed the civil infraction of impeding traffic. And I will find her responsible for that. Fines and costs were assessed previously, and they were set as a bond in this matter. So the court will apply the bond to the fines and costs.
Thank you, Yenner.
And we are adjourned.
Well, it looks like Karen and Kevin won't be heading to Dairy Queen for a honeymoon anytime soon. Before we wrap up, I want to give a special shout out to Old Squishy Gardener. Their channel regularly shares courtroom content like this, so be sure to check them out. That's the end of the video. If you enjoyed it, leave a like. If you didn't, leave a dislike. And don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments and subscribe with notifications turned on so you don't miss future videos.